Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and I'm here today with week 2 of the Persevere kit by Illustrated Faith and Dayspring. I will go ahead and link this down in the description bar down below. And today I thought it'd be fun to try some foiled stamping. So I'm going to quickly go over the technique I'm going to use, and then I will talk about what I'm journaling today. So again, I'm working in week 2. And I have chose to just do one entry a week. As of right now, that might change as I work through the kit. And the verse on the card is in 1 Thessalonians, but I ended up working in Psalm 23:3, which is on this little die cut piece there. And I've pulled some other die cut pieces that I'm going to use on this entry. So I'm using a Thermoweb Deco foil, and then I'm going to be stamping with some Tombow Mono Multi-Liquid glue. I've tried a lot of different glues with this technique, and this seemed to be the one that worked the best. I had accidentally discovered that this glue dries tacky to the touch, so that's why I went with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and squeeze some of this glue out onto a scrap piece of cardstock, and then I'll take a makeup sponge, and I'm going to use that to dab a very thin layer of the glue onto my stamp. Now, this is not a perfect technique, so you're not going to get perfect stamping, and just keep that in mind as you play with this. But it was just a really fun way to pull out some of the gold foiling from the rest of the kit and add it to my page. So here's where I'm picking up some of that glue, and I'm applying a thin layer onto the stamp. And while it's still wet, I'm going to go ahead and stamp that down onto my page. This does stamp clear, so you're not going to be able to see it on camera. And even as I was working with it in person, I had to periodically stop and foil before I added more stamping. Also, be sure that you clean your stamps really well with warm soapy water after doing this technique. You don't want to let this glue dry on your stamps. It might ruin your stamps. So just do this technique with a word of caution. It might be dangerous for your stamps, but I wanted to give it a go, and I really love how it turned out. So I'm going to stamp a couple of these down. And then you want to make sure that the glue is completely dry. I did use my heat tool to speed up the drying process. And when it's dry, it still has a sticky finish to it. Then you can just take a piece of the deco foil and apply it over the stamped image. And then I'm just taking a paint card and rubbing it over the top of that image just to press that foil into the glue. And then you can see here the foil sticks to wherever you had stamped with the glue. And I just love the effect that this gives. So I'm going to go ahead and do this in several different places around the page. I'm going to add some elements from the kit, and that is really it. So I'm going to let that play on screen while I talk to you about this entry. So again, we're working in Psalm 23:3. I'm working on week 2 of the Persevere Devotional, and Robin has us just looking at some hard stuff in this devotional, and it has really touched me this last week, and just over and over and over, every time I come to this kit, it just wrecks my world. I don't know what it is about it right now for me, but I've talked in recent videos about being in a really difficult time in my faith right now, and so there were some things that she talked about this week that really resonated with me. She says here, I kept questioning God, why me? Pray without ceasing was all I continued to hear. One way God communicates is through silence. Over the course of this next week, search your heart and ask yourself, am I in a spiritual famine? And she has a couple other questions there for us this week, but oh my goodness, the why me, I have asked that about 1 billion times over the last year. Out loud. Most of my friends can testify to that, just me saying, why me? Why me? Why? And I feel like right now I am in a time of silence, not hearing from God, and that is hard. I am a control freak. I'm a problem solver, and so this sitting and waiting in quiet is very, very difficult for me. So, this question, am I in a spiritual famine? And yes, I am not going to church as regularly as I should be, just because of the situation that we're in. I am in my Bible almost daily still, so it's not that I've lost faith. I just feel like it's a difficult dry season for me. And this psalm talks about, he leads me to still waters. He restores my soul. It goes on later on in the psalm about walking through the valley of the shadow of death. And there's just so many things in the psalm that really spoke to me. And as I was filming the video, my sons both had Pandora playing. They had different stations playing at the same time in the same room. And both of the songs, one was Oceans, which has played over and over and over in my life lately. And another one was by Ren Collective. If I can find it, I'll list it down below. But it's just God speaking to me, I think, in some very unique ways lately, and also just in the silence. And it's hard. This is a time of difficulty for me, and so I had a lot to journal on. I will probably come back and maybe do another entry with this week, as there's a lot of content in there. Here on screen, I'm just taking a powder tool to brush over the foiling, and this just removes any stickiness that might still be on the page, but. So I went ahead and did some journaling. I'll probably come back, maybe do another entry, or I'll do some more journaling in the devotional, and lots of prayer, lots and lots of prayer right now. So I love how God has been speaking to me through these kits from a variety of different companies that I'm designing for right now, or doing creative work for. So completely different companies, completely different kits, and they are all speaking to me in a similar way. And so it's just amazing to see how God works in that way. So I am so thankful for these companies that do these kits. And so if you haven't already picked up this kit, I really would encourage you to. Even if you're not in a dry season right now, you may come to a point where you do find yourself in one of those seasons, and this would be a great kit for that. So I'm just going to wrap it up, adding some additional little die cut pieces here. Just gorgeous. I love all the pieces in this kit, and it really balances out the deep darkness that it has me walking through right now. I'm just going to use that little sticker there to point to the exact verse that this is about, but I really journaled and reflected on all of Psalm 23. Went ahead and did some journaling, and that is it for the entry today. If you have questions about anything that I did, be sure to leave those down in the comments down below. You can find the kit in a link in the description bar down below, as well as all the other products that I used today. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and give this video a thumbs up. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.